Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you're connecting from. I want to say thank you for being on this show. And if this is your first time, kindly like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and please share with others if this has been a blessing to you. And today we have a special guest with us. But before we bring her on board, I'd like to introduce what the show is all about and my name. Making a difference every day is we all meant to make a difference. We all call out to be a different maker, difference maker. God has put in each and every one of us a skill, a talent, potentials that we need to harness to maximize it, to be an impact in our world. We're called to make a difference in every facet, in every platform, everywhere we belong to. And that's what God has called us to be. And in order for us to be a difference maker, we need to impact our world. What have you been through? How have you gone through your difficult moments? How did God keep you? And how you being relevant to the environment that you live in, how you impacting the world, how you giving back to the society. And that's beyond living from going from striving to thriving and living a life of success and also living a life of significance, impacting your world and impacting the people God has put you around. And today, before I go in bringing in our guests, I'd like to just introduce myself. My name is Sandra Uko. I'm a Maxwell Leadership Certified Team Member, coach, speaker, trainer. I'm also a member of the Toastmaster as the Vice President, Public Relations and IT Sales Expert, and also a best-selling author. And just recently, I got the Presidential Lifetime Award. I'm excited and I'm thankful for life. And today we have a special guest. Her name is Wendy Morris. The next person you get to see is Morris herself. She's going to be introducing herself, telling us what she's been doing in her world to make a difference. Thank you, Ma. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. My name is Wendy Morris, and I am the CEO and founder of Guided by Grace, which is a nonprofit organization that works with single mothers and young women who want to make a difference in their life. I'm also the CEO of Comore Care Services, and we work with individuals that have developmental disabilities.
Oh, awesome. Great to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And one of the reasons for being great minds and great people out there is to impact our world. So can you share your story with us? How did you start life? What is that propelling force and the driving force that has kept you going?
Um, well, I have endured a lot of trauma in my life, and I'm an advocate for individuals that have experienced any type of trauma. I'm a certified ACE trainer, and a lot of our trauma stems from childhood, but mine really stems from being a survivor of domestic violence. I was married at the early age of 20, and I was married to an individual who was an abuser. And
Oh,
so yes, for a year and 11 months, he would fight me, beat me. Not only was he physically abusive, but he was verbally abusive. And I'm a firm believer that licks heal, but words stick with you for a while. And those words, telling me that I was worthless or telling me that I would never accomplish anything. During our marriage, we had a daughter, and she has been my driving force. I wanted to break generational curses. I wanted to just provide a better life for her. So, a year and 11 months into the marriage, he beat me so bad that I had to make the choice whether or not I was going to allow my daughter to live in that environment. So, she was 5 months old. I packed my I just had the clothes on my back and 2 cans of baby formula. And he thought I was coming down to visit my family. My family was always supportive. So actually, he didn't know that I was planning my getaway. And on that date, May 8th, 1999, is when I took my life back um, and started over. And I started over with absolutely nothing. I was fortunate enough where I had a support system, my parents and my sister, so they
awesome.
were there for me. Yes.
Yeah.
So after and doing all of that, um, I realized that I was fortunate enough to have a village. And I am a firm believer that any obstacle or anything that you face that is traumatic, I am the type of individual that I want to use it as a stepping stone. I don't want to be a victim. I want to be victorious.
Yeah.
I had a village that allowed me, when I came home, I only had a high school diploma. I had no degree, no car, no house. I had nothing. And I was a single mother of a young daughter. But having that support system in that village allowed me to go back to school. And I have 3 degrees.
Mm.
Um, like I said, I have a nonprofit organization that works with young women, single mothers, individuals that they have experienced trauma, individuals that want to go back to school, single parents, and they're not sure how to start. We work with them, providing resources, whether we are helping them with college tuition, books, just whatever resource we can provide. I made a vow that I wanted to be somebody's village because
Mm.
everybody isn't as fortunate as I was. And everything that I have, it was by the grace of God. He just gave me the strength that I needed to set the example for my daughter, not only for my daughter, but for other people as well.
Awesome. Awesome. You rightly said it. Having a plug-in system, having a support system, it's so critical. So I know that a lot of people are going through difficult moments, but
Mhm.
not having a right support system can be another set of trauma.
Yes.
You're going through a trauma, you want someone to help you, unbottle those pains and get free. And
Mhm.
if you do not have such supporting system, you keep carrying along. And that's most times, end up in depression
Yes.
because no help, there's no love, there's no support system, there's no one to run to. So rightly, it is said the three things that makes a man: the things you allow as a resource inside of you,
Hmm.
the people that speak into your life. That means the people you hang around, and in
Yes.
the environment you go. If you're in an environment that is not conducive, you will not grow well. And that's why we have some plants, are stunted. They're not growing well because the
Hmm.
environment is not either very harsh, maybe no enough weather. So, water the plants and make the soil a bit soft for the roots of the plant to go deep down into the soil to get moisture. And so
Hmm.
if you're in an environment where you're not getting, the right words, the right people, the right support system, then that environment is not for you. That environment will not help you, to spread, to expand, to increase. And that's why we need a right support system. And you spoke about, standing up to your obstacles, standing up to challenges.
Yes.
They will surely come. I tell people, I said, as long as you're living, you will go through challenges.
Hmm.
We have met with people, either they just living one challenge to the other. So it's, as you keep overcoming, new ones keep coming. And as you
Yes.
keep overcoming, your strength is being built. You're being built and you're getting stronger for others. And that's why I tell people, I said, experience is not the best teacher, but an evaluated experience is
Mm.
a teacher. And whatever you have, an experience is meant to be an asset, not a liability. What
Yes.
you've experienced in life is an asset because nobody can take that pain from you. Nobody can take those lessons learned. And you're there for others. And most times when we go through difficult moments, they're not just for us. God allows us to go through those moments so that we can be there for others, encourage others, be a motivating factor, be there as a support system for others. Like she
Yes.
rightly said, because she's been through trauma, she knows what she's been through. She has vowed and made a pledge that she would not allow anyone around her to go through same pain. And that touched my heart because, it is said that hurting people hurt people. But leaders are the ones who overlook their pains and decide and make up their minds to be a blessing and not allowing their difficult moments to affect their relationship with every other person. I also have a mentor too. She said she pledged to herself that she wasn't going to hurt anyone because she had a very negative family around her, negative support system. I
Hmm.
think she got pregnant at 15 and she was thinking of committing suicide because the family support system were not conducive. They were not positive at all. They said negative words to her. They were naysayers. They wanted her to get rid the pregnancy, but she kept it. She said
Hmm.
and today she's over 72, a
Wow.
girl of 15, and she never got married.
Oh, wow.
She's a single mother till she's 72. So she has a baby now who is over 57 years old.
Oh,
When I
oh.
heard that story, I was close to tears.
Hmm.
For a
Hmm.
young lady of 15
Hmm.
to have stayed all alone till she's 72, that's a loss.
It
you
is.
know, and also making up her mind. She's a leader in the Toastmasters, and
Hmm.
she's made up her mind that I'm not going to hurt people because I went through difficult moments. I'm not going to give people in the same coin I was paid, but I'm going to be good for others. I'm going to be there for others. And she's
Yes.
indeed been a blessing because she's a mentor to me in the Toastmasters. She's always a person I call every time I need to, try out my speeches, try out my Toastmaster speeches. She's always there with me. So that's a
That,
great one. And again, having that support system to go back to school and being there for others.
yes.
Education is one great thing you can never emphasize. You can imagine because you dropped out of school or you left home very early, you got married. You could as well
Yes.
not go back to school. But
Hmm.
having the right support system who are there to help you with your baby and who are there to help you go back to school to fit in back to the system was a great one. And that's
Yes.
what every single mother, every trauma patient, everyone needs having the right support system to keep moving and keep pulling through.
And it's very important that you have that right support system. And a lot of times, individuals can't go to their family because they have that generational trauma, and so they don't have the necessary tools that they need in order to support one another. So my main thing is I do a lot of work with the local Head Start program here. I work with a lot of the parents, providing like courses on trauma and on self-care. We hold workshops helping them fill out financial aid forms, um, showing them how to fill out college applications, how to write a resume, any way that we can help them become the best version of themselves and succeed in life, to provide a better life for themselves and their children. That's what I'm here for. That's what I live for, honestly, because I thought for me when I was going through everything that I went through that there was no hope. And it was just God showed me that He had so much more for me. And I had to trust Him. And just by trusting Him, staying in my word, and just fully discovering what my purpose was. And I realized that I had to go through my trauma in order to live out my purpose, which is to help other people who experience what I've experienced and let them know that there is hope. Let them know that they can overcome. Let them know that they are victorious and they are not their trauma. They have experienced their trauma, but their trauma does not define them.
Not
So,
at all. And that's true. You just said it. Your trauma does not define you. And to know that you're a conqueror. And
mhm.
sometimes when we go through this painful moments, they're actually meant to build you up, get you ready for life. And like I rightly would say, I think where I would use an illustration using the butterfly.
Mhm.
The butterfly is a very ugly insect when it starts growing, from the pupa to the larva and to the adult butterfly. The butterfly is a beautiful insect. But during its growth stages, there's this time that the butterfly is breaking out of its shell. I heard a story that when you help the butterfly, you weaken the butterfly. The stamina that the butterfly would have used to, be able to flap its wings is damaged when you try to help the butterfly break their shells or help them
Mhm.
to come out from their shells. So that's to let you know that in life, when we go through difficult moments, sometimes we're meant to go through this journey to get stronger and be there for others. And so if someone step in and stop the journey, yes, they're meant to just give you some guidance how to go through life. But if they are there to just take you off it, sometimes you don't grow to become the kind of person God wants you to be. So going through our journey is very important. And in going through that journey, we cannot do it by ourselves. And that's why we need the help of God. So when we
Yes.
depend and rely on God, it does help us to go through it joyfully. Like I'll tell you that your journey is your journey. And so you must enjoy your journey. We all have a journey. We all have our parts to play in life. So I have not seen identical twins who were born and who have had same experience. So same with the fingerprints. Just as we all have different fingerprints, so is our journey different. So even if you're from same parents, have same education, same exposure to life, your experiences in life are different. And that's why they said challenges are meant to bring out the best in us. And so the two things challenges can do to a man either makes you better or mar you. Because sometimes people just believe, oh no, this is too hard for me to bear, and
Mhm.
I'm not meant for this. Why me? And that's why I looked at it at having a fixed mindset, having a mindset, not a growth mindset. Why not you? Why should
Mhm.
it be somebody else? So when we go through difficult moments, we're meant to learn what God has called us to learn. And so
Mhm.
that's what I tend to do now when I go through difficult moments. I try to also want to understand what is the need for me to learn. What is God telling me? What are the learning curves? So that I
Mhm.
do not need to repeat this journey any longer. It is said that when you run away from your battles, you will live to fight them some all the time. So
Exactly.
this is the time to go through your battles, go headlong, go doing it afraid. And that's why we have what you call courage. Courage means doing it afraid. Doesn't mean there's not going to be fear, there's going to be fear. But standing up to your obstacles, standing up to those moments, and seeing God come through for you.
Yes. And he most definitely will come through. And like you said, you have to have courage. I left with absolutely no plan, but I trusted God enough to know that if He takes care of the birds, He's going to take care of me and my daughter. So
Sure.
I had to have that faith, and I had to just let fear go. And I was terrified at first because I said I have absolutely nothing, but I didn't realize having God, I had everything I needed in order to be successful.
That's true. So I want to find out from you. During those moments, difficult moments, was there a time that you wanted to throw in the towel? You want to just stop everything? How did you go through those moments?
Yes.
This one reason I'm asking this question. There's a lot of people going through this kind of moments, and they find it difficult. What do I do at this stage of my life? So, what would you
Um,
be able to say to them?
there are so many days that I wanted to throw in the towel. I cried. I went through the depression. I experienced the anxiety, the anger, but I stayed in my word. Um, I just constantly had to remind myself positive self talk. Sometimes you have to encourage yourself when you don't have others around to encourage you. And then just building that positive support system. Um, Sometimes people don't share their stories, um, not knowing that me sharing what I had been through opened the door for people to help me and to create a village outside of my family. Just being transparent, and most importantly, I think when I wanted to throw in the towel, I looked at everything that I had going for me at that moment. I look at everything that God had already brought me through. And so if He could bring me through an abusive marriage, if He could bring me through just all of my obstacles, I knew He had so much more for me to do. And so
Yeah.
giving up, even though I wanted to, I had to prove to myself, but I also had to recognize that God had a plan for me. And even though it didn't look like the plan that I had for myself, I trusted that it was more beautiful than the plan that I had for myself. And so I just had to create that village outside, find friends or people who have experienced similar things, create that village, but also being honest and transparent about what you've been through. I think that's important too, because a lot of times we want to throw in the towel, but we are afraid to say, hey, I need help. A lot of people don't do that. And I was big on being too prideful to ask for help or saying that I was struggling or having that facade that everything was okay when it wasn't. But when I just became my authentic self and when I admitted I'm tired, I don't want to write another paper, I'm tired of having to go through all these events as a single parent, I was honest. And then that opened the door for more people to come in and help me. So that created a bigger village for me.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
It is said that a closed mouth is a closed destiny.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody gets to. And it is said that when you share your problem, share your issues with other people, it is
Mm-hmm.
50% solved. That
Mm-hmm.
means halfway down the line, your problem is solved. Because
Yeah.
when you don't speak out, no one gets to know what you're bottling in. No one knows how to
Mm-hmm.
help you, how to be of help to you, how to support you. But when you share your pain, you become lighter.
Mm-hmm.
People are ready to help you. Like you rightly said, you have a larger circle of people wanting to support you, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And if they're not there to help you, they might know someone who is a ready help. They can refer you to someone else and say, "Oh, I know of this, therapy company. They can be there for you. I know of these counseling sessions that take place in downtown or wherever, and they
Mhm.
can be a support system for you." And so that's why, when we go through, and it's said that God places the solitary in families. God
Mhm.
knows the importance of why we need to be in circle of friends, why we need to be in a support group, because
Mhm.
that is only when we can get help. You cannot get help alone. What the devil does is to isolate you. And that's what is going on now. People speak
Yes.
about work from home. I like to be alone. I don't want to associate with anyone. That's just a trick of the enemy.
Mhm.
When the devil wants to destroy a man, he tries to take you off from the people who can help you, who can
Mhm.
support you. He tries to isolate you.
Yes.
And that's why if you're thinking, oh, I'm a self-made man, I want to just be on my own, I don't need the help of anyone, you're just deceiving yourself.
Mhm.
You
And
have to
I
come out of
was
your
thinking,
shell. You have to be truthful. You have to be authentic to yourself. You
yeah.
have to tell yourself the truth. You
Mhm.
need people. And that's why the system, the church system is there. The schooling system is there. You need to be in a classroom to
Mhm.
associate with all the people. It is said, iron sharpeneth iron. So would a
Yes.
man sharpen the countenance of his friend. So if we don't come together to share ideas together, like I'm sharing with Wendy, there's no way I'll get to know what Wendy needs from me, how I can be of help. If I don't share my issues with Wendy, there's no way Wendy will know how to be of help to me. What relevance does she have in my word? But when we come together to share, okay, this is what I'm doing in the business, and this is what she's doing. I can say, okay, we can come together to leverage. We can, support ourselves.
Mhm.
Synergy. Coming together to work together. It's a said that if you want to go fast in life, you go alone. But if you
Mhm.
want to go far, leaving a mark and a sign of times, then you go with a team of great
Yes.
minds, people
Yes.
like you. So there is need for us to plug into a system. And that's why I tell people, I say, if you get to a city, anywhere you don't know anybody, look for a church
Mhm.
and to plug in. The church
Yes.
will always rise up for you. Anyway, even if you get to a country or a state where you don't know anybody, the church is the first place to go to. They're
Yes.
always very ready to welcome you, look for someone to accommodate you, find
Mm.
out what your issues, and see how they can be that support system for you. So I
Yes.
have experienced that, and that's why I'm saying that depending on what your religion is, just find the people who can be a support system to you. And I also want to find out when you had great moments, when things began to work for you, how did you celebrate it?
Um,
And how did you embrace it?
think I just take a moment and I celebrate most of the time with my daughter. Like I said, she's my biggest motivation. I know that I had to create a better life for her. So she is really my driving force. And when I accomplish something, I like to celebrate with others. Um, they laugh at me. I'm the type of individual, even on my birthday, I'll give gifts to other people because God gave me the gift of life to live to see another birthday. So I'll
Yeah,
take everybody else out to eat. Those are things that make me feel good. So I celebrate with family and friends. Um, I always want to remain humble, and that
yeah,
is constantly my prayer, but I'm always grateful for just spending time with my family and close friends. Um,
yeah, and
just
that's what we ought to do. I think I heard a word that said, gratitude brings about multiplication. Gratitude
Yes.
brings about the harvest.
Mhm.
Gratitude brings about, it's just like I coming to say, oh, Wendy, you're such a nice lady. Wendy, you're doing great things.
Mhm.
When I keep saying such words to you,
Mhm.
you know, you move to like, what can I do for Sandra? How
Mhm.
can I be a blessing to her? What can
Yes.
I give to her? She's just been a blessing to me. All because I'm thanking you for the past good you've done for me. But
Mhm.
I am a grateful person. I like to just say thank you. Thank you for yesterday. Thank you for what you did last night. I appreciate you. And I also, in return, I'm praying for you. And you were like, oh my God, just that little thing I did for her. And she's just grateful. You want to do more. So, and
Yes.
that's the way our Father is, and that's the way God is. When we learn to be grateful for the little things He's done, He's
Mhm.
moved to doing more. And I'm
Yes.
sure, as a lot of us are we're looking at, oh my God, it's a new year, it's end of the year, it's a new month.
Mhm.
How do I get the things I've written out to come true? Learn to go back to thank God. Look at those little things God has done for you and learn to say thank you to Him. Learn to be
Yes.
grateful. And then you
Yes.
see, and that's why you said your gratitude in life will determine your altitude. How
Mhm.
far you go in life is dependent on how much gratitude you're able to give to God and to everyone who has been a blessing to you.
Yes. That is so true. And I I speak on having gratitude. A lot of times people get so caught up and they are so entitled, and they are not. They don't practice gratitude.
Yeah, they
As if
don't.
so many people in these generations that are coming up, it's almost like you owe me this. But if
Yes,
they
it's
would
like
just,
they have the what we call the ownership mentality. It's
yes,
a right. You have to give it to me. It's just what
yes,
you need to do.
yes, and it's just I do know too. I'm a firm believer in paying it forward, and I know that when God blesses me, whether it's with knowledge to help someone start a business, or if He blesses me with an abundance of anything, and I pay it forward and I share, before I can give that away, He's already blessed me with something else. And so I'm a firm believer in, just like I said, being a village, reaching out. I am grateful for everything that God has done. I'm grateful for all the people that He's placed in my life, because those people played a major part in me being who I am today. And so I'm just grateful, and I give God all the honor, all the glory. And I just, if I look back over my life, 20, 24 years ago,
Yeah,
I had no idea I'd be where I'm at today. And it was just, I'm grateful. And so when I think about everything that God has done for me, not only for me, but just my entire family, I give Him all the gratitude. And I'm constantly, anybody that's ever helped me, I stay in contact with them and just letting them know how much I appreciate them.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's just, it's a part of who I am.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Before
Thank
we call
you.
it a day, I want to thank you for your time. I also want to thank our viewers. I want to thank the support system that we have. Thank you for being there. Thank you for being on our show. Thank you for sharing the link with others and being a blessing to others. Before we call it a day, maybe if there's a question or a story you need to share, maybe I didn't ask you based on my questions, and you might have one unique story before we call it a day you want to share to be a blessing to the audience. Do you have anything you want to share?
Just telling people to be their authentic self. Don't give up. Encourage yourself, and just, even when you're going through your trials and your tribulations, try to be a blessing to someone else.
Yeah, looking outside yourself. Because
Yes.
we have a lot of times when people go through difficult moments, they tend to like, oh my God, I need to sort myself before I sort somebody else. But
Hmm.
sometimes in sorting others, you get the help, you get the answer to your
Yes.
problem. So
Yes.
stretch out, stretch yourself. Let's all dare to go out there to be a difference and be a difference maker in our world. If
Yes.
everyone is a difference maker, the world itself will be a better place to be. That means we become a people's person, we're a blessing to everyone around us, and truly, the world itself will be a better place. Thank you so much, and thank you for
Thank
your
you.
time. I want to appreciate you. Out of your busy schedule, you had to create this time for us to meet and to share your story. That's awesome. Trying to help all the people who have gone through trauma because you've been there, you understand what it is, and you have made up your mind to be a blessing to everyone around you who is probably presently going through or who have gone through it to learn from your story and how they can become, better people to influencing their word for God, for
Yes.
Christ. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Have a nice evening. If you've made it this far into this video, thank you for watching. And don't forget to subscribe so you can support your girl. Thank you.